Juicy Yellow here, and today we're going to make some delicious Oriental food. And with that, we're going to make some scrambled eggs and rice and mix them together. You can add some green onions, tomatoes, or whatever other vegetables you like to it. And that's basically it. With this and a few other materials, let's get started. Before we get started, I like to say that this recipe works well with 2 to 3 servings. 2 servings being 1 green onion stock, 2 eggs, 2 cups of rice, and 3 servings being 2 pieces of green onion stock, 3 eggs, and 3 cups of rice. And as you can see here, these are all the materials that we are going to need for this video. So we got our trusty chef's tool, the sharp knife. We got our large spoon. Well, in this video, this is going to be my large spoon, but the purpose of the large spoon is just to mix up the eggs and rice. So this is what it's for. We got our egg beater to beat them eggs up. And we got our eggs that are going to be beaten up. We got our rice, going to be 1 more cup. We got our salt. We got our green onion stock. We got our frying pan to fry that rice and eggs up. We got our rice cooker to cook our rice. We got our bowl to mix the eggs in and to beat them up. And we got the plate, and that's going to go where the scrambled eggs go for the first step before mixing it into the rice. And finally, we got the oil. You can use peanut or canola oil, but in this video, it's going to be peanut oil. And with all that, let's get right into the first step. So inside your rice cooker, there should be a rice bowl in which you can place your rice into. And we'll go ahead and place our 2 cups of rice inside. Here's 1 cup. Here's another cup. And with that, take your big bowl out of the rice cooker or the pressure cooker, and basically we are going to wash the rice. And washing the rice, it takes like 4 or 5 cycles until it's ready to be cooked. And we'll go ahead and start washing the rice. So we are now going to go ahead and start washing the rice. So the first wash should be to like the surface of where the top pieces of the rice are, where you'll see in a second. And make sure to use your hands to massage that rice also. So go ahead and move that around. And that's basically on the surface. So we're going to go ahead and dump the water out. Don't dump the rice out, otherwise that's a waste of pretty good rice. White rice is delicious, am I right? Anyways, you keep doing that for another 4 or 5 times until when you fill it up, the water should be clean, unlike this whitish water here. You don't want that. And yeah, we'll keep on going.
Yeah, boy!
So as you can see, the water is a lot cleaner than it was before. Well, for me, it took like 6 times, I believe. Might have to check that out later, but the point is, the water is a lot more cleaner and basically it's ready to be cooked. And when you're cooking the rice, you want the water to be half a centimeter above this level of the rice right here. So you want to make sure that it's covering all of the rice specks. And yeah, let's get cooking. So for this next step, you want to go ahead and put the rice bowl back into the pressure or rice cooker, whatever that you have, and just cook your rice for 30 minutes or closer to 30 minutes. 25 minutes is the best. If you're doing 2 servings, 35 minutes if you're doing 3 servings. And let's go ahead and place the rice bowl into the rice cooker. Alright, so another thing to notice about your rice cooker is how it has somewhere to vent, in which this case, it's this knob right here. So when you're cooking your food, you always want it so the vents are closed. And I just keep it at sealing, which is going to be for the rice that's going to cook for the next 25-30 minutes as you go along. So just to keep that in mind, and just make sure you don't forget about it. So for my pot, I do have the rice cook option, which I am going to click. And that isn't correct. If you're thinking about it takes 10 minutes, it takes a lot longer. As I said, it'll take 25 minutes for the rice to be done. So right now it is 3:47 for me, and yeah, I'll be back in 25 minutes. Alright, we got a rice cooker here, and we're going to go ahead and let it blow off some steam, as you guys can see right here actually. Right now, it's got a lot of pressure inside, so we're going to let the steam out so the rice can be a little bit more mushy and be done with cooking. There we go. So we're going to let that off for 2 to 3 minutes, then we'll go ahead and take the rice out.
Because you know I'm all about that rice, no egg roll. I'm all about that rice, no egg roll. I'm all about that rice, oh, Aero. I'm all about that rice, rice. I ain't no Japanese, I don't know Kung Fu, but I could bake a bacon, it's what I chose to do. I got that goo sauce, give you a taste of my soy sauce.
So as you guys can see, the steam is starting to calm down, and that is indication that the rice is pretty much finished. So we're going to go ahead and take the rice out. Ooh, pretty steamy there. Alright, let's look at the rice. Oh, alright, and let's take it out.
Didn't even get to bronze.
Well, that's pretty much all the rice there is out of the pot. Unless someone wants to lick the pot dry, then someone in the comments would like to volunteer. They can go ahead and do that. And look at that rice. I mean, damn, am I right? Can I get a nice in the comments? A nice? Well, moving on. We're going to do the eggs and we're going to mix them together, and that'll be the final product. So let's go. For this next step, you're going to take these 2 eggs right here that you have. You're going to break them up. Mix them and swirl them, and you're gonna cook them real well. And I'm gonna show you how. So to break an egg, if you don't know already, you crack the side of the egg right here to the side of your bowl, and you split that in half. So as you can see, and here you can split. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Am I right, folks? And you basically do it the same for your second egg. So give me a second. Second egg. Let's do it. Make sure you don't get the shell inside the bowl, because the shells aren't going to be edible, and yeah, you're going to have a real bad time. So with 2 eggs in, now we're going to mix it. See, normally to be cultured, you gotta use them chopsticks to mix your eggs. But for this video, because there's a lot of new people here and this channel is pretty new too, I'm gonna use an egg beater because that's what makes sense to most people. But chopsticks are definitely next level, people, so take notes. So using our egg beater, either go clockwise or counterclockwise to beat your eggs. And before you're beating your eggs, you want to add some salt to them. And for the salt, you want to put, I'd say, that kind of looks like 2-3 pinches to me. That's enough salt for your eggs. And go ahead and mix them. I'm going to mix them clockwise. So just like this. And mix them kind of fast, but not too fast that the eggs just like gets off your bowl. That's not good to clean up your mess afterwards. And yeah, we're going to keep doing this for 1 to 2 minutes. And how you're going to know it's done is when you see bubbles above your eggs, that's basically indicates that it's ready to cook and it's ready for the next step. Ah, crap. Looks like I got a little bit outside there. And there goes that drop. See, let me tell you something about myself. I started cooking 3 months ago, I would say. And yeah, and now I'm teaching you guys, and it's pretty much a good experience. So I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. And pretty sure the eggs are almost done. So let me fast forward this so you guys can see the results afterwards. Well, just to show you guys how to do it with chopsticks real quick. Basically, take your 2 chopsticks. Feels a lot easier because it doesn't take that much space into the bowl. And so yeah, if you've mastered this, then congratulations, you've become the most Oriental in your family. So moving on, back to the egg beater. You can start to see the foam, another like 20-30 seconds, it should be done. You're going to set up the pan afterwards and take the temperature to the highest that your stove can go. And yeah, we'll get right to it. So you can start to see more foam on your eggs, and that basically indicates it's pretty much ready to cook. So we're going to go ahead and set up our pan and oil. So I actually went ahead and mixed the eggs just a little bit more, and for the final product, this is actually what you should expect. And to set up the oil, we'll go ahead and take our pan, heat it up, turn the fan on to low mode if you have that. And basically, we're gonna add our oil. And the amount of oil you add, so if you have a cup here, you go ahead and do 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to use 3 caps of oil if that makes sense to you guys. And we're going to go ahead and just wait for the oil to cook. So that's definitely starting to heat up. And you'll know it's done when you kind of get close and can smell the oil, which I definitely can. So in another few seconds, we can go ahead and get started. So we have our eggs, and we're going to put it in all around, and you're going to get either a fork, a spoon, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my chopsticks to mix it in once the egg gets into the pan. Oh, and another thing, if you put water with oil, it's going to start to splurt out, and yeah, you're not going to want that. And I just washed my chopsticks, so that's why it's doing that. So no oil and water, otherwise you're going to burn the shit out of yourself. So we're going to start. So all around, and immediately after it gets in, you start mixing it left and right, and you can really see the result there. Pretty nice scrambled egg. And keep mixing until the liquid, all of it, turns into a solid, and you turn them around. And this is all in quick movement. So just like that. And the egg, you can see when it turns brownish, that indicates that it's pretty much done. Go ahead and put it into the plate that you had earlier. There we go. And I'll show you guys afterwards. And the important part is turn the heat to low after you've put your eggs to your dish. And you're going to use this same pan to prepare for the rice. And remove this. And here are your eggs. So the next thing that you want to do, placing your eggs aside, is chopping your 1 stalk of green onion when you're doing 2 servings. And basically what you do is cut off its head, cut off the dry parts of its tail, and basically you chop vertically once, be careful with your fingers, and then you chop horizontally. And you just chop it fast so you can get those nice small pieces. Careful with your fingers. Alright, and you go ahead and gather that in. And go ahead and chop it one more time once you've gathered the pieces into a bundle. Alright, now your green onions is ready to mix into the rice later. So onto the delicious rice with your trusty big spoon. So basically, you're going to add another half So half a lid of oil to your pan, then you're going to place the rice inside your pan to start cooking. So that's like half a cup right there, spread that around. Then you take your rice and just put it all in. Ooh, hear that sizzle. It's a nice sound, wouldn't you guys agree? And once you place your rice in, go ahead and spread that rice out. That's a nice even distribution if I say so myself. And now we're going to add some more salt. But the salt this time is going to be less than what you put into the eggs. I would say that kind of looks like, well, almost as much as the eggs, I should say. But I would say like 2 pinches of salt should be enough. It's actually a bit too much. And just like evenly spread it across your pan. And we're going to mix it around just a little bit. And make sure it's still at low like it was the whole time after I took my eggs out. If you increase the heat of the pan, the rice is definitely going to burn up and you may overcook your rice during that. It depends how long you set up a temperature for. So go ahead and play with your rice for a little bit, and once you've done that, you can go ahead and just add the green onions and just spread that around. If you have any other vegetables, as I mentioned, tomatoes or anything other like that, and you have it chopped down too, you can go ahead and add those to your pan. For me, as I said, it's just going to be the green onions. And go ahead and just like play with your rice and green onions for a little bit. And now you're going to want to turn the heat up for a little bit. If you have low and high, go ahead and put it a quarter of that setting. So I would place mine at 3, and that would be good enough. And now, can you guess what's going into this pan last? I'll give you a hint. It's the last thing that you need to add. If you guessed eggs, then you are correct. And with a plate of eggs, we're going to go ahead and add it to the rice. Just like that. So now we're going to mash the eggs so it's in little pieces. And once it's in little pieces, you can distribute it along the rice so it's not all in just one place. So yeah, just use your large spoon and go ahead and just mash the eggs. Alright, once you've done that, go ahead and mix it with the rice. Careful not to get the rice out of the pan. Once again, you gotta clean up your own mess, which is the least enjoyable part of the recipe actually, if you haven't noticed already. So once you feel like you've mixed in the eggs well with the rice, I'll go ahead and tell you the next step. Okay. Yeah. Well, doesn't that look good? I think so. So for the next step is actually going to be the last step until you're done with your food. So basically you're going to set your stove at high, the highest heat that it can go, and you're going to do that for 20 to 30 seconds, then you're going to place it back at low. And here we go. And just keep playing with your food. And you can definitely hear it sizzle. And yeah, that's pretty much 30 seconds there. Go ahead and place it on low afterwards. Keep playing with your food for almost another minute and basically your food is done. And with that in mind, I really do hope that you enjoy cooking with me. I really hope that you enjoy the food that we made together. And until next time, let's take a vote actually. Comment down below if you want to cook some dumplings next time or if you want to cook some pancakes next time. So go ahead and do that, guys. And yeah, it's pretty much done. So grab your dish, either your rice dish or your egg dish, doesn't matter, and just like carefully pour into your plate. And also make sure you turn your stove off, keep your fan on. There we go. Yeah, make sure not to drop any pieces. Ooh. Oh, that's spicy. Once again, it's good for 2 servings. So with those 2 servings, you can pretty much share with your best friend, a family member, or just anyone else. And this is the final product. And yeah, enjoy. So another thing that I would like to say is that cleaning up your rice bowl may seem impossible, but really it's mostly easy to clean up the rice bowl in the first place. So all you do is fill up your rice bowl with water, hot water, 3/4 of the way, and just wait for half an hour. And in that half an hour, the rice inside the bowl will start to soften up, and then you can just scrape it out afterwards. And that's basically it.